This podcast is part of the Shareable Podcast Network. Learn more at shareable.fm. This is a Shareable mini episode where I ask the guest 10 important, big questions, and they have to answer them as fast as they possibly can. I call it Think Fast. Today on Think Fast, my guest is Kathy Klotz-Guest, and I'm going to be asking you 10 rapid-fire questions. You should answer them as quickly as you possibly can, and we're going to get through this in record time. The first question is, what book should everyone listening read next?
Ooh. Gosh, I'd say Dare to Lead by Brene Brown, because that one's a big one.
Cool. It's on my list. All right. Next, you can't say shareable. What's your favorite podcast?
Oh, The Moth.
Ooh, okay. And that's my list. Okay. Next question. What negative experience in your life are you most happy happened to you?
Woman in male-dominated tech.
Cool. Okay. What is a lesson you wish you learned earlier in life?
To trust my gut.
Okay. What's the most important skill of the future?
Improvisation.
Nice. Okay. What industry or career path has the most promising future or potential?
Play and drop the script.
Hold on, say that again. You came
through kind of choppy. To adapt.
Say it again. You came through kind of choppy.
I say the ability to drop the script and pivot and adapt. And it's in every occupation, I think.
Okay. So slightly different question I'm asking though is, what industry or career path do you think has the most promising future or potential? So that would be a good skill for the last question.
Bill, industry. I think culture and medicine.
Okay, cool. All right. What is one thing everybody listening to this episode should go and do today? They have to be able to do it today. It has to be like a completable task today.
Okay, I want you to yes and yourself. Whatever it is you said you were going to go do and start, pick one thing off your list that you've been wanting to do and yes and yourself today.
Love it. Okay. If you could have any one superpower, what would it be?
To read people's minds. People. I'm very good at that. I don't know. To fly. I want to fly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is an interesting one. If there was a drug that you could take that gave you an 80% chance of developing a superpower and a 20% chance of developing an incurable terminal disease, would you take it?
Yes.
A risk taker. Haha. All right. Final question. Question 10, the big one. Here it goes. Have you seen Avengers Endgame?
Most of it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the quick premise because it's important. So in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Thanos is in search of the Infinity Gauntlet. It has 6 Infinity Stones in it. When he gets all 6 Infinity Stones in the glove, he can snap his fingers, and his plan is to wipe out half of life in the entire universe. You can do anything with the Infinity Gauntlet. When you snap your fingers, it will happen. But, as is the case with most mere mortals, when you snap your fingers, as Tony Stark did at the end of game, spoiler, it costs you your life. So, Kathy, I put the Infinity Gauntlet on your hand. You have the option to snap or not to snap. But if you do snap, what happens after your snap?
So assuming that I die,
You would be trading your life for the impact of whatever it is that you snapped your fingers for. But it's anything in the universe that you can conceive of can happen when you snap your fingers. So you can make massive sweeping changes with this, but it will cost you your life. Or you can put the Infinity Gauntlet back down and say, you know what? I'm not feeling it.
The hill that I would totally die on is equality for everybody. That means getting rid of poverty, racism, sexism, all that. Equality. I would die on that hill. Yes.
Awesome. This has been
Don't want to, but I would.
Awesome. This has been Think Fast. Wait, don't leave. If you've never listened to my fancy outro, do it just once for me, please. Okay, if you enjoy Shareable and you find it valuable, there's a few ways that you can support the show. One, you can share it on social media, which I strongly encourage. I mean, it's literally the name of the show, Shareable. Two, you can review it on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're an Overcast user, as many of my listeners are, make sure to click that star button on the episodes that you like. The third way that you can support the show is by blogging about it or discussing it on your own podcast, or even by making a YouTube video where you talk about one of the episodes. And then the final way that you can support the show is by supporting it directly on Patreon. You can find the link in the show notes. Now, before I let you go, I want to tell you about one other thing. You see, Shareable is just one of many projects that I'm working on at any given time. I've got another podcast called Rogue. I do a live streaming show every week called The Heroic Council. I've got a blog where I release a blog post twice a week. And if you're looking to keep up with all sorts of different content that can help you grow and become a superhero in life, I want you to check out jeffgibbard.me. That's where I list all of my current projects and projects that are coming up in the future, including my forthcoming book, The Lovable Leader. It would mean a lot to me if you could go and check out some of the other things I've worked on, because I put just as much of my heart into those projects as I do into Shareable. Thank you so much for being a listener. Thank you for being a supporter, and I hope to see you here on the next episode of Shareable.